next Larry, everyone wants to be the next pocket Insta-model, and you just need the money. 15 lakhs right there, this is all it takes to get excited. Okay. No, not too far.
With fraud and scamming on the rise, criminal gangs are always on the lookout for people willing to lend them their bank accounts to receive and withdraw that unlawful cash. The people whose bank accounts are being used by these fraudsters are called money mules.
They said within 3-4 days there'll be like $4 grand in your account and you can have half.
But why would people let criminals use their bank account when it could result in paying the price for someone else's crime?
More often than not, this presents a red flag for banks, which can get you blacklisted and done for money laundering, which could land you in jail for up to 14 years. I want to investigate this new crime trend by speaking to the police, the victims, and also the recruiters, manipulating people online to launder cash.
How we doing, guys? Myself, Chris Credit OBE, hitting you with a quick one. Real talk, true season. Look, a walk and talk right now because I was just speaking to a young boy, and these are the kind of times when, like, parents, this is down to you guys now. I know it seems hard and I know it seems difficult, and sometimes you just don't even want to look into certain situations. Hear this now. I've just come from a school. A young boy has been on Snapchat, been on Instagram. There's a lot of these cash apps. We was doing this back in the days. They used to call deets. You know the ones there? Man used to take your bank card, put money in your bank, and they say that they give you half of the money. The boy is going to set up a bank account now. You know, once they've got all of these details, they've gave all the details to the boy now, and they've been running bare money for the boy's account now. Now, all of a sudden, the boy's getting done for fraud. And these are the kind of times when I wanted to put up that video.
I'm with Banks and Shanks, two fraudsters who don't want their crimes traced back to them. So instead, they recruit money mules. They're meeting up with one of them who's just received money from their latest bank fraud into his account. As payment for letting them use his bank details, or deets, they're giving him a cut and returning his square, which is roadman for bank card.
How did you meet Banks and Shanks?
Snapchat,
Snap?
I literally see a post. Ever since that, I found that it was easier to make money. And ever since they've been doing business.
And are you like nervous about the risks involved and all of that?
That's what it is, isn't it? You know, how the game goes. When you know certain things, that's the deal you have to do.
So how much did you just give my man?
Gave him 2.5 bags.
2.5 bags?
Yeah.
So what do you think he does with that money next?
Sky's the limit. He can do anything with it. If he wants to go out and spend it all on the sideline, he'll do that. If he wants to save it, it's not.
Banks, Shanks and their mule look like brethrens, but really they're fully using him and could get my man blacklisted by banks, ruin his credit rating, and even worse, he could get arrested.
Do you ever tell the money mules the risks beforehand?
To some people, sometimes I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna speak to you a certain way so you don't feel like you have a choice and won't fall fast into it. Manipulate. I don't say that. It's the truth though, yeah, but we can't say that.
Banks and Shanks almost exclusively recruit their mules through social media.
Most likely use sensitive prices. So yeah, that's the money.
Oh, you got some cash on you now? Oh, snap. Ross. Wait, how much is that, do you know?
15.
Oh, jeez.
Then you wanna take a video. Take a little video. Put a little caption. He wants to make money. 3 to 5 days. Make them know that it's quick, it's easy, and it's risk-free.
It's risk-free, but you know.
It's safe, but kind of risk. Please ain't really doing anything about it.
So, where exactly did all this cash come from?
M.A.D. This.
Man can't even get into detail, fam. I was like, Jesus, I'm guessing it's something illegal.
Probably.
Yeah. So you made the post. Someone's replied. What's the next steps from that?
The next steps from that is telling them your date of birth, full name, address, phone number, picture of your ID, and then probably within the next day or 2 to get someone to go there, get the square, drop it off to no decap, and then put it through crypto, or go to the bank and withdraw it. Give them a percentage, or go automatic. The reason why we put it through crypto sometimes is because if the feds wanna try to track down the money through crypto, so it's like the way it is, cryptic.
So it's just harder to trace, isn't it?
Harder to trace, that's what it's all about. Pretty much anonymous. Not 100%, but getting money to the bank and asking to people to find you.
What would you do if, like, you send it to someone's account and then it already gets locked, like the feds are already on it, and it's just trapped?
If it's trapped, it's trapped. That's a different story. The person's taking the money out without my permission.
Okay.
Take it out without my permission. Simple as if they get you know?
So it's pure violence if they take your money? Well, no, you need to take this away from me before I get too carried away, bro. These are young guys, just teenagers, walking around with £15,000 in a book bag like it's nothing. They don't see the repercussions, they don't see the possible jail time. They just want to make money fast.
In 2020, there were almost 26,000 suspected money mule cases in the UK involving 14 to 30-year-olds. Sky News has reported that people younger than 25 are 6 times more likely to fall victim to criminals on social media than over 50s. I'm checking the apps to see just how easy it is to get coerced into money muling.
I've just made a fake Snapchat and a fake Instagram account. And on my Instagram, I've portrayed myself as being into flashy clothes, expensive jewelry, liking partying and going out. And I've typed in the explore page, quick cash, and I followed every single page that's come up, and I've started DMing potential recruiters, asking them, how do I get involved, basically. I've done the same for Snapchat. I've typed in quick cash, make money, and one of them's even replied to me now, saying, who's this? Oh, mate.
Within minutes, I get a list of information the recruiter wants from me.
This happened all within the space of 10, 15 minutes. This guy obviously doesn't care about whether I'm gonna get away with this. So I could potentially get 14 years. I'm just being used.
But not all money mules are recruited on social media. Many get persuaded by friends and family.
So you've been a money mule. So do you mind speaking about your experience and how they approached you?
I got approached by a family member. They had done it a few times with someone that approached them. I sort of got pressured by that family member to do it. When I agreed to do it, they said, give me bank details, give me a card, give me a PIN number in it. Obviously, nowadays, you would never give your bank details to anyone, would you? You know what I mean? But I did that, and they said, leave it with us. Within 3-4 days, there'll be like $4,000 in your account in it. And you can have half. With that family member I was doing with, they was going to take a little bit. That was the sort of deal with it. Like, the money went into the account, and whoever had my card bought like $2,000 worth of gold. That's what it says on the statement, or something like that. Yeah, so obviously that money came out so quick.
Yeah.
It's alerted the bank in it. Do you know what I mean? So the banks obviously put a block on it. So that person's took their half out. But the other half that was supposed to be mine, and the person I was doing it with, obviously got frozen in it, you get me? So that's how it went wrong.
So what was the outcome of that?
When it happened, they froze my account, first of all. I had a letter come through the post, and it was like a debt letter in it, and they said, you owe like £4,000 in it. And I said to them, well, have you called the police in it? And they says, nah, we haven't done an investigation. So basically I've said to them, how do you know it wasn't fraud on my account? After that, they wiped that off, and 3 years later, they sent me a £25 check and I apologised.
Oh.
For closing my bank, because they couldn't actually prove it was fraud.
Okay then.
I didn't make nothing from it, I didn't profit from it. Stupid mistake. I know some people have done like 50 grand. And that's a whole different ball game, and $4,000, so all right, and it got 30 grand or 50, 60 grand, that's when things happen, innit?
So at the time that they approached you when you were younger, did you know that you could possibly get up to 14 years for money laundering?
Fucking, I had no clue, 14 years. Like, I probably would have come out of jail in my late 30s, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't have a clue, otherwise you wouldn't even touch that. It's like murder, do you know what I mean? This is like murder sort of thing, manslaughter shit.
I think Raphael was extremely lucky. He managed to get the 4K that he was asked to launder completely wiped from his account. And he was even given a £25 check as an apology. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't believe it was worth it because he was still blacklisted from that bank for several years and his credit score was severely affected. And it kind of highlights the way that money mules see this crime. They see it as low risk, when that's far from the case.
The National Crime Agency has set up a special task force dedicated to fighting this type of financial crime. It's often international gangs behind these schemes, trying to launder their illegal cash.
So what we've got here is a criminal group who are carrying out what we call business email compromise. They send emails to a company, making the company think it's just a normal supplier saying, oh, we've changed our bank account this month. So they're asking this company to pay money into a slightly different account. The criminals need that account to look absolutely normal. So they want a UK account. There's no point having an account in China or Afghanistan. That's going to look dodgy. They want it to be a high street bank. They want it to look totally normal. So to do that, the criminals need to recruit some money mules. So firstly, they'll have a recruiter, a mule herder, a picker, whose job will be to go out and find the mules. So they might use coercion, they might use force, they might threaten young people to do it. They might use deception, so pretend it's actually something completely legitimate. Or they might just recruit people and be completely upfront about what they're doing and just say, if you move £500, you get to keep 50. So in this case, you've got a recruiter who's forced one person to be involved, so the money is immediately going into their account. And to make it even harder for us to track them down, they're then using 2 other mules to move the account. And then finally, what we're seeing here is the final individual is being asked to transfer all the money through a money service business, which is a specialist business involved in moving money abroad, and the criminals will pick it up. So you've got a complex transaction web that starts with the theft of money and ends with some, but not all of that money, going back into the hands of the criminal. And they are using a network of mule herders and money mules to help them avoid getting caught, make the money look clean, and get that money out of the country.
And what are the said consequences of money laundering?
So if you're a money mule, you can get arrested, you can get prosecuted, you can end up in prison.
Because it's like, you can get 14 years, brother. My man thought, oh no, it's not gonna happen. Then man are saying, no, please don't really get involved. It doesn't really matter and all the rest of it. Like, man could go in prison now, because now they're trying to charge him for money laundering. And at the same time, man's gonna get blacklisted and now all of a sudden, you ain't gonna have no credit. But then a lot of people will sit there and back in the days and we'd be like, rah, like, you know, when you come from hardship and all the rest of it, like, who cares about credit? Who cares about being blacklisted? And these are the kind of times when young people are setting themselves up to fail before they've even started, big man. Like, you just started the game. Like, you've just got into this world and now all of a sudden you're blacklisted. Now all of a sudden your name ain't got no credit. So when it comes down to you wanting to move out of the country, when it comes down to you wanting to go to the bank and get money from the bank, you're not worthy. All because you wanted 2.5 grand, all because you wanted 5 grand, all because you wanted 10 grand. How much ever it was. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And this is when it comes down to the times when I need you parents to start being a little bit more on point when it comes down to this Snapchat and Instagram. You're on there yourself, you're on TikTok yourself, you're doing the TikToks and twerking challenge, but you can't even take the time out to understand what's going on with your child's life. Because these guys are coming for them. And when I mean they're coming through the apps, where they're coming through the games and everything, they're not coming to them on the street. They're coming to them through apps, showing big wads of money, saying, yo, big man, what, you want to level up, you want to rise up. And he's thinking, right, all I have to do is just give my bank details and they push money in my account. Now all of a sudden he's now sitting there saying to me, sir, I don't know what to do. My mum's stressing out now. She's scared. She's worried. But these are the kind of times when I said to him, you made a choice, big man. You knew right from wrong. You knew that was a silly mistake. You don't give anyone your bank details. You don't give anybody your name, your ID card, all these kind of information. And it comes down to the parents as well. You've got to start making a choice. Now, you can't sit there and be like, I didn't know, and I'm not really clued up on these kind of things. You need to get clued up. You need to understand what's going on. Because young people are now getting money laundering through their banks. But that was happening back in the day. So I'm not going to try and go like it's something new, but it's something new to our young people now. And they don't know it. And we need to understand what's going on and why they do it and how we can actually reflect and say, all right, cool. If a man's going to get taken for a mug, then don't let him get taken for a mug. Let's make sure that we're patterning up now. It's 2021. I can't be hearing back, oh, we used to do that back in the day. So what? Who cares? Let's change it now. Let's change the system. Let's change the understanding. But we need to make our young people know that all of this deets thing has been there, done that, worn a t-shirt, rude boy. It doesn't do you no favors. You get a couple of bags out of it, bruv. You buy some trainers, you buy some crap and what? Now you're blacklisted. Now you can't do nothing. Or if not, now you could be facing a sentence. And these men are gone. Once they shut down their account, they're gone, rude boy. This Instagram account is not even real. This Snapchat account is not even real. Parents, please be aware of this video right now. Myself, Chris Credit OBE, and look a quick walk and talk.